The topic is S block elements. We know that long for a periodic table has been divided into 4 blocks. We have S block, we have P block, we have D block, and we have F block. This depends upon which shell of the atom the electron goes to, last electron goes to. In S block, last electron goes to the S subshell, and in P it goes to P subshell, any orbital of the P subshell, and in D it goes to an orbital of D subshell. And similar is the case of the F block element. Okay. Let us. Our topic is S block elements. In S block, the last electron goes to S orbital of last shell. Okay. Since S subshell contains only one orbital, that is S orbital. Okay, and each orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons. So one electron goes to this is for example our S subshell. One electron goes to it, then next goes to it. It can accommodate only 2 electrons. So we have only 2 groups of the periodic table, which in which last electron goes to S orbital, and these 2 comprise S block elements, and these are group first and group second. So we have only 2 groups in periodic table, group 1 and group first and group second, which comprise S block elements. And these groups are, group first is also called alkali metals. This is the first group, and second is called alkaline earth metals. Okay, alkali metals and alkaline earth metals, these are the 2 groups which constitute the S block elements. These are most active metals. These are most active metals in the periodic table, and they readily get, even if when they are present in this pure form, they readily get oxidized to form oxides, and with which is very violent. If we have this, for example, we have sodium. If sodium is in open air, it explodes automatically, producing sodium oxide, and a lot of heat is produced. So these are naturally found as oxides. Naturally, these are found as, we have sodium oxide, we have potassium oxide, and also sulfates, and we have carbonates. So they are always found in. Similarly, we have silicates. So they are always found in combined state as sulfate, oxide, carbonate, or silicate ions. Okay. These are, as I have told, the most abundant elements of the periodic table. We have calcium, for example. It is the 5th most abundant element. We have iron, we have this silicon. After them, this is the 5th is the calcium. It is found in large deposits as calcium carbonate. Also, it is found in large deposits of calcium carbonate found on Earth's crust, and in the Earth's crust is the 5th most abundant element. And we have another element, is magnesium, is the 6th most abundant element. Sodium is the 7th abundant element, and we have potassium is the 8th abundant. So these are the alkaline earth metals. These are S block elements which are most abundant amongst the most abundant elements. We have francium and radium. Which are rarely found because they are radioactive. They disintegrate when present in pure form. Okay, this is the introduction to these. Then we have an important property of these, which is called anomalous behavior of first elements. Anomalous behavior of first elements of each group. First elements of each group. We know that elements of a group are similar in almost all properties, but the first elements of most elements of these alkaline earth and even of these p block elements have different properties than rest of the elements. For example, we have a lithium, then we have sodium, then we have potassium, then we have some here we have beryllium, second group beryllium, then we have magnesium, then we have strontium. No, strontium is not something like that. Okay. These first elements, the elements of a group have similar properties, but first elements are generally have different properties from the rest of the elements, and this is called anomalous behavior of first elements. The reasons for this is, what are the reasons for this is that first is small size of the atom and ion. Small size. Since it is size is small, the size of an atom has a major say in its properties. For example, its electronegativity will be more, it is another electronegativity will be more, and it is ionization enthalpy is more. Similar, many properties will depend on atom size. Since the size of these first elements of each group have a smaller size, appreciably small size, there are some, so its properties are different. Okay. Then we have second, which is related to this, they have high ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy. High ionization enthalpy, high ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy. So these also have a say on the other properties. So when they are their values are high, they impact other properties of these elements. Okay. Then we have high polarizing power of it is high polarizing power of its cation. Since their cations are very small, they have high ionization enthalpies, they have a high polarizing effect. Polarizing effect means they have a power to attract the electron cloud of other combined atoms. So that impacts their properties. So this is also contributes to their properties being different from other elements. Then we have last but not least, that is a non-availability of d orbitals. Since no d orbital is available in these elements of the first elements of these groups, which basically is the second period. These are the second period of the periodic table. They have only s and p orbitals, and the impact rest of the elements down in each group have d orbitals, which impacts their properties. So here in the properties, hence their properties are different from the rest of the elements. So these are the reasons for their diagonal relationship. Diagonal relationship means that elements of first period resemble the elements of second period in diagonal position. For example, we have lithium, then this group first, then here we have in group second we have beryllium, this is group first, this is group second, beryllium, below beryllium we have magnesium, and then if we go to group 13 we have boron and we have aluminum. Then group 14 we have carbon and silicon. Okay, and this is the group first, group second, group 13, and we say that in these periods these group third to 12 are not, because they are including d orbitals, and here we don't have d orbitals in group period first and period second. So we have 13 after second and then 14. Here when we observe their properties, we see that magnesium resembles lithium, beryllium resembles aluminum, and boron resembles silicon. So the elements of second period here resembles first, which is in diagonal relationship. So there is diagonal relationship, lithium and magnesium, beryllium and aluminum, and this and this. Okay, so this is called a diagonal relationship. Diagonal relationship, what is it? It is the resemblance of properties of an element in diagonal position of the period second to the element which is in diagonal position in period first. Okay, so and then we should go into reason. What are the reasons for this? The reason for this is, for example, if we take for example electronegativity. Electronegativity of magnesium will be similar to lithium. Okay, that we call the diagonal relationship. So what is the cause of this? When we go along a period, we see that electronegativity increases. Why? Because there is decrease in atomic size. When we go down, this electronegativity increases because there is increase in electronegativity decreases. When we go here, electronegativity increases. There is increase in electronegativity because of decrease in size. And when we go down a group, it decreases because of increase in size. The atomic size increases, electronegativity decreases. Now we can say here it increases, here it decreases. Okay. So when we move simultaneously, we move right as well as we move down. So there is increase as well as decrease. Okay. So that is the reason when we move from here to this, here to this. So here there is increase in electronegativity, here it's decrease. So increase and decrease, they neutralize each other, and there is no increase, neither increase nor decrease in electronegativity. Similar is the case ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy also increases as we move right in a period, and it decreases as we move down a group. So when we move simultaneously, we move right as well as we move down, right and down. It increases and decreases. So there is no net increase and decrease in this. So this is the justification for diagonal relationship in properties of elements. Okay, thank you.